The following videos were taken in December 11th, 2021. And what you're going to see is this first image is the large tree branch that came out of a dead tree that we have standing on our property. And this is the before picture. So note how nice and dry the ground is. Doing pretty good on our mud challenge for this year. But when the large branch came out, I only had maybe a minute from the time that branch came down to when the storm wall hit. So I'm sitting in between the haystack and I'm watching. Right across from me is that dead tree that the branches had fallen out of. And the water, the runoff, just sinks my heart to see all that. Because that's going to take a long time to dry out. But I'm thankful that no one was hurt, none of our animals got hurt. And when the storm did finally kind of let up a little bit, I ventured out from a little safety area. And of course, there's a goat who didn't mind me because I called everybody into the barn. She didn't come. So she's standing in the little eave there. Now, if you notice from this angle, there's the trailer. We, at the last minute, moved the John Deere tractor. You know, whenever you only have one tractor on hand, you got to take care of it. So this is what it looked like just a few minutes before. And Brasco ran down and helped me to move it, which was very thankful. You may be asking where the kids are. Well, they're safe in the house, and I had texted them to tell them, you know, get in the bathroom and seek shelter just in case, because you never know. And I'm curious, now that the rain and the wind has let up, what has happened on the other side of the barn.
Good kid.
So, I'm taking this video with my phone. Here's where I've got the cow and my goat Ray tied up. And they're just sitting there munching on hay like nothing's wrong. So here's what I could see if I stood in the eave of my barn roof. And it's not very encouraging, but the wind keeps snapping and whipping in. That's all runoff water. That's not where the creek has swollen over there. That's all stuff that came off the hill. And oh, it just looks really, really bad. The hay ring the hay that was in that ring got flooded out. So there goes a little bit of waste, but not too bad. There's a friend's tractor on the other side. There was no way to move it because the tires are out on it. But I don't know if you can see it in this shot, but the creek is not swollen yet. And I didn't get any images of it hitting the aftermath of all this runoff from the neighbors. But this is about as bad as it got with the creek. Now let's rewind for just a second here, because let's review some of this footage we had just prior. Notice I've got the cow over here and the goat, but no horses on this side. Well, there's a very good reason for that. Let me show you a snip of video that I took earlier this summer as to why the cow and the horses do not get along. Alright, let me set the stage here. What you're seeing is what our barn looked like back in the summer. We're going through renovations, so there'll be an update in a later video. However, this is our cow, and she has herded all the horses into one side of the stalls. So we have 3 horses in a 10x10, and the cow herself is in a 10x10. And then she proceeds to insist she needs more room and that the horses must take their gear to their side of the barn. And the horses say, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. No one says a word to her. No one stands up to her. Typical boss activity. caught on tape. You can see Ellie trying to console her child there and let her know it's going to be all right. She's quite the sassy bovine, and it also explains why our saddles and tack are just covered in mud and manure and junk, because they get treated this way by the cow. Some people like to blame the horses, but here we have photo evidence. Another thing I'd like to update right quick is, yes, we have relocated the milk stand. So up until just a few weeks ago, we had the milk stand up on the hill close to the house. And that made it very convenient whenever I needed to use a hose to clean off the milk stand. However, I had no shelter except for this canopy. This is supposed to be my farm stand canopy, and because I have needed it up at the milk stand, it's gotten kind of moldy. The fabric's gotten like kind of rough looking. Little patina going there. But the worst part was, because it's cold and windy and the rain likes to like rain and whip around, I didn't have any walls. So, a miracle of miracles, the ground got dry enough that we were able to use the tractor to haul the milk stand down to the barn. Now, I want to get a better shot of it later on in its new location. Things have just been hectic, but update later to come. So here we have what it looked like before, and in the shot you can see there it is in the background. Thank you everyone for all your well wishes and prayers, and we will see you on the next video. Stay tuned.